Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here, and today we're going to be doing something pretty exciting. We're going to be taking a look at the Seiko SPB095, the Arita porcelain dialed Seiko Presage, and it's pretty exciting. I've been kind of waiting to see this since it was announced at Basel World 2019. Let's go ahead and open up the box, and here we have the Presage SPB095. This is the Arita porcelain dialed Presage variant. Of course, here we see that little tag that we normally see by Hiroyuki Hashiguchi. So it's basically the same thing you get with the enamel dial and the Shippo enamel dial, the same tag that you get. Just mentioning that it's a handcrafted product and that there are going to be small imperfections and that it is normal. As you can see, the box is very disappointing. The packaging is really pedestrian and really disappointing. The Shippo enamel had a really nice bamboo box, but that was a limited edition. The enamel dial had a similar uninspiring box, and I guess since this is not a limited edition, it doesn't have great packaging. But that said, the premium that you pay for this watch is quite a bit higher, double the price of the enamel dial variant, and so it's really disappointing to see such poor packaging, such a poor presentation of an otherwise great watch. Now, one thing to note is that you aren't buying this watch because you want a great movement. You are buying it because of the dial and just the handcrafted appeal. It really is something exquisite, the dial on its own. The case itself is a very beautiful case. We can see that it is beautifully rounded on its sides. It's brushed on the top. It's fairly thin, and I'll put the specs on the video as well so that you know how thin. Now there is another variant of this watch. That's the one with the power reserve and a date subdial. That one is more visually interesting. The enamel dial one that I had, the Shippo and the regular white enamel one, fired enamel, both were the power reserve version. And this time I decided to go with the just the plain vanilla date cutout at the 3 o'clock position. The reason why I didn't get the date cutout in the previous versions was because you could see a thinning out of the enamel at the date cutout, but in this version you don't see a thinning out, but you do see some imperfections at that date where it was cut out by laser, as they say in the press material. You won't see that imperfection in the ones with the complications, but it is quite a bit thicker. I believe it's around 14.1 millimeters thick. So this time I decided to go with the plain clean dial, just the three-hander. And so this watch comes in a beautiful brown crocodile strap, and it's real crocodile. It really is high quality, and it's a great strap. It's really comfortable. It has calfskin at on the underside, and it's crocodile on the top. Something along the lines of the Shippo enamel and the white fired enamel versions. In the end, there's not a lot that I can tell that really warrants the high price. You can tell that this dial is really thick, just from how far down the date wheel is. You can see there's a huge depth to it. It's very beautiful, and I'm sure it costs way more to make this dial than the enamel ones, but I'm not sure if it's worth double the money. But then again, we do know that Seiko is moving up market, and so a new model is a way to push up the market rather than trying to raise their prices of their previous back catalog. We have the white enamel available, and these are not limited runs. These are made in smaller batches because they are handcrafted, but they are readily available. There's not an ending date in sight. Right at this moment, you can pick the enamel one or you can pick the porcelain dial one. Now it'll come down to preference, but the porcelain dial one is quite a bit more expensive. The case for the porcelain dial one is that it is really beautiful. It's almost like the Roman numerals are floating in a sea of creamed, I don't know how else to put it, but the numerals have some depth to them. Even the logo, everything is just exquisitely done. The blued hands are very beautiful as well. An interesting thing with this dial is that it seems almost like it's domed. The dial seems like it has a curvature to it. It goes really well with the case because the case is very curvaceous. So I would say the Shippo enamel is my favorite. But I'm a huge fan of this case. I'm a huge fan of this dial, and the movement, of course, has been upgraded in this variant only. The Power Reserve one still has the 6R27, which is a variant of the 6R15. It has a higher beat rate of 28,800. That version is the same as the Shippo enamel version and the enamel version, the white enamel. However, for the three-hander, we have the 6R35. Now this one still is at 21,600 beats per hour. Ticks a little slower. It doesn't have 8 ticks. It has 6 ticks per second. The upgrade obviously is the fact that it has 70 hours of power reserve rather than the previous 55-ish hour power reserve. The tolerances are the same. Minus 15 plus 25, really terrible tolerance, but more often than not it is closer to the minus 6 plus 6. I'd say every version that I've had has been within that, and this one is around there as well. I believe this one is running at around plus 6 seconds per day. So the price increase is really hard to stomach, but it is a quality product. I would say it is worth the price for sure. Now, whether you want to pay that for a Seiko, that's another thing altogether. But clearly from my previous videos, you know that I am willing to pay that for a good Seiko product. And I believe the quality control, I haven't had any quality control issues with this product so far, thankfully. I'm not sure if Seiko would be ramping up their quality control. We'll see, I guess, as this watch becomes more popular. That has been a quick review of the Seiko SPB095. And this has been Engineer Wannabe. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys take care and have a good night. Bye.